Did you know that simply because hair grows here, that makes you morally inferior? Hi everyone, TGD here. We're gonna do knife videos, yeah, pretty much all the time. We're gonna do knife videos until I run out of ideas. So today I'm just gonna show you the rest of my machetes, the rest of them that I have, and there's only a few, and I don't like half of them, so they're not all cold steel today. We'll start off with this. This is the D-Guard Latin machete, and this thing's actually epic. It makes this epic sound. I cut through like 8 water bottles at once with this thing, and it wasn't even that sharp. The way this thing is shaped, this is really the only cold steel actual Latin style machete that I have. So this is 18 inches. It's pretty good. Using it out in the field it does its job really well, swinging this around. And I do like the D guard because it prevents it from falling out of your hand. And this guard is more comfortable than like their regular style. That's more like the handle on the Bowie machete. I think their regular handle's more like the Bowie machete, and this one has the Cutlass machete handle. So this thing's a beast. It's not very thick. It's pretty thin. Especially when you're out in the forest, this thing puts in a lot of work. It's only 18 inches. I wish I would have gotten in when they were still making these, and I got like a 24-inch one of these. Because this thing puts in work. This thing's a monster. So I wish I got the bigger one. And it is kind of piratey. Kind of like a pirate, kind of epic. I wish I would have gotten the bigger one. The sheath on this one seems like it's newer too. This is like one of the newer sheaths. It's got this better tip on it. It's a bit more rigid than the old ones. And I mean, I guess this is tolerable. It's only 18 inches, so if you're out in the field and this is bumping against your leg, I guess it's not as bad as something that's 24 inches. Next, I have this Fiskars machete. It's the fit is not good. It's rattling in the handle. This handle's not fantastic either. It feels like it's completely hollow. I guess the grip on this is not that bad. It's a little bit thick for my liking. It's not satisfactorily sharp for me. And I don't really care for this saw on the end. It has this hole. What's the hole for? I don't know. But I don't carry this around. I mean, I don't carry it because the fit is bad. But also, I don't have a sheath for this. I don't have a sheath for it, and that makes it almost impossible to carry around. So having a sheath is actually super important for your stuff. But that's a disgrace. So I might have used this once or twice, but I don't really have an opportunity to use it. Those saw teeth, I don't think are very good. They're way too thick. I don't know if these would do anything to actual wood. Plus, imagine having to use this tiny handle. You can't get 2 hands on it. That's a disaster. Not doing that. Now this next thing, let me move back, see if I can get this in frame. This is a United Cutlery, I think, Combat Commander. It says this is 1065, which is like a higher carbon grade than the cold steel machetes. I don't know about this thing. I mean, I guess feeling it, it has some flex. So I guess that would mean it would work. I've never actually taken this out because I'm scared to. With how many times the cops have stopped me for stupid stuff, I'm afraid walking around with this on my back, that would get me in trouble. The tang looks like it only comes to here. It looks like the tang only comes to here because there's this nut here, and then there's a hole here. So, and feeling it feels like it stops here. So this blade shape is kind of sick. This honestly might be fun to swing around, but I've never taken it out because I'm too scared to tell you the truth. It does come in like this back sheath kind of thing, and I guess, I mean, if you don't clip it in, it's not really gonna fall out, it doesn't seem. So maybe you could have that on your back while you're out adventuring. And I don't even want to try that. Maybe I should take this out. I've not taken it out though, because I'm nervous. Feeling it. It kind of just feels like stainless steel. Like I don't know. It just feels like stainless steel. I don't know. I mean, I guess it does. It does flex. So, but I'm afraid that I swing this into a branch the wrong way and it just snaps right in half, and then this pointy end comes flying right into my eye or something. But yeah, imagine having to look down this. You're on a rugged path and you encounter someone with this thing. It is some roughly like naginata like, but it's only, the handle's only this long. Naginatas are cool. I've actually thought about taking this out of the handle and using this, putting this, mounting this on a pole or something, and having that be a naginata. That'd be kind of sick, right? But this thing is cool, right? Kinda. Now this thing I got from some sort of pack. It says Bushmaster on it. And the shape of this is actually, you know, kind of nice. It says right on here, stainless steel China, so let me see how this... It does flex a little bit. I am nervous about stainless stuff because of how it has a reputation for being brittle. This handle is just plastic, and plastic grip with this texturing here. I don't really want to use that. It is kind of sword shaped, honestly, so that's kind of cool. Maybe I should have put this in my sword style machetes video, but this is kind of just a regular Latin style. I guess if I kind of sharpen this up, maybe this would be like a good kitchen knife, maybe if I cut in a big watermelon, or maybe. But maybe I should do that with this. Take this, because this has screws in it. I could just take these screws and screw them into a shaft. I have a shaft in my closet. Just put this on, then use that to fight off enemies with my nice pole arm. Maybe I might make it a little bit pointier. I'm honestly not that crafty of a guy. I'm kind of useless. I'm a useless millennial. I can't do anything cool. Kind of just has this regular sheath. And that's a floppy sheath. It has a nice balance to it. It's kind of, might be fun to you know, attack someone with. But yeah, it does feel, the balance feels good. It feels right in your hand. If I had a shield, maybe be kind of nice. It is like vaguely saber shaped as well, but it says stainless China, so I don't really want to go swinging that at branches and stuff. I'm just nervous about that stuff. Check this out. This is a PVC sheath that I made, and it's garbage. I just took my heat gun and did a very poor job, as you can see. Useless millennial. And I made this sheath for... This sheath weighs more than the knife does. But I made this horrible sheath for this awesome bolo. Tramontina bolo machete. Made in Brazil. People who actually need to use machetes in Brazil, going through the forest and stuff, they know what they're doing. This thing did not come with a great edge. The tip there really didn't have much of an edge on it. I kind of had to do it myself with a file, and it's just okay. I don't know how good you can see how that edge is. It's definitely sharp enough, though, I would say, because one day I was out there in the woods, and this thing will fly through brush. If you can see on this handle, it's actually really comfortable to hold. You can see when I'm holding it, these two fingers are like touching my palm, like the meaty part of my hand there. That feels really good. That feels good. It's like fully in my hand. So this thing feels good to grip. You can see it's almost a little too small. That it like my fingers are kind of squished in there. And that actually feels pretty good. When you swing it, because your fingers are kind of squished, you when you swing it, it doesn't rock a whole lot, I suppose. You have a firm grip on it. But it's sharp enough. I was slicing right through trees with this, through branches, and I didn't have a sheath for it, so I made this, and this thing sucks, and it's like 30 pounds. It weighs 2 tons, and it's terrible. So I honestly need to just throw that away. So one day I was out there in the forest, and I had to climb up a hill. So I'm like, I don't want to walk up the hill with this in my hand like an idiot. So I tucked it into my belt and almost sliced right through it. Almost sliced right through it. Almost had my pants fall down right around my ankles right there on the trail. So that was terrible. I have to get a sheath for this. I don't know what to do. Like I'm not, like I said, I'm kind of useless. I can't just craft one out of leather, with all the leather I have on hand, you know. But this thing's nice. This thing's awesome. Now another place that they have jungles, I think they have to cut through, is El Salvador, where Imacasa, that makes this 28-inch machete, is. I painted this blue because I wanted to, and I had blue spray paint. I put it really through the ringer, cut a lot of that, like rubbed a lot of that paint off. But to be honest, this thing's kind of epic. I want to point out the grip. You can see, can't really get a good grip on that, so this does rock a lot in your hand. I had lots of blisters, even like with this grip tape I put on it. Lots of blisters using this. The handle's not great, but this blade is kind of awesome. This came as a blank. I think all these Imacasa from El Salvador. If you can kind of see that, can you see it on the? Oh no, you can't see it on the trail cam. Yeah, no, not that one. Maybe that one. Can you kind of see it? Imacasa, El Salvador. Because this thing is so long, this actually will slice through a sapling that's like this thick. This thing will fly right through a sapling. This thing is really nice for clearing brush, especially since you have reach and you won't get a lot of brambles caught on your wrist or anything. So it's good for that. Really, the percussion point where you want to hit is like right around here. This is really the sweet spot on this thing. Because it's so long, you can get a lot of momentum. So having this heavier tip, you can see it kind of tapers ever so slightly from down here to up here. The heavier tip, once you get a good swing with that, it puts in work. It puts in a lot of work. Just holding this, kind of exhausting. Kind of exhausting just holding this because of just the dynamics of it. In itself, it's not very heavy. It's not very heavy, but like having to hold it, the physics of this pulling down is causing some fatigue on my wrist that I don't really get with the other ones. So I like this thing, and I have used it once or twice, but I don't have a sheath, and I don't know where you can get a sheath for a 28-inch machete. Where do you get a sheath for a 28-inch machete? I don't know. so I don't I don't have one. But as you can see, this thing is super duper flexible. Super flexible, so you can really get this thing whipping and not have a whole lot of concern about it breaking on you because it's so flexible. So that's something nice about this too, that it can take a real beating. Did I already mention I put this edge on with a file? Did I mention that? So the edge I put on is probably not that great. You can kind of tell if you were like a professional looking at this edge, you would think, "Oh my gosh, what a disaster! This guy doesn't know what he's doing," and you'd be right. Something else I have to point out about this handle: it is just plastic, kind of feels hollow. So this handle's not great, but the blade itself is awesome. I love this thing. If I was like a woodworker or something, maybe I'd put that Tramontina style handle on this. And then if I was like a leather worker, I would make a nice long leather sheath for this or a wooden scabbard. But I don't know how. Now we started with a cold steel. I guess we'll end with a cold steel. I don't know what category really to put this one in. This wasn't a sword style. It's certainly not a knife. This is the all-terrain chopper. There's a really funny video of this guy who drinks drinks Steel Reserve while he just beats stuff up with this all-terrain chopper. This is like 21 inches of just solid steel. If I go to flex this, not a whole lot of flex. It's rigid and it's kind of thick too. This thing, I've used this out when I was camping. Kind of good for that. You can see I put the coating through some tough stuff. You can maybe even see on the edge there. I really put this thing through some work. And this thing runs. This thing performs. It does have that kind of crappy handle. This handle is not comfortable to use. This handle's not great to use, I'm going to tell you the truth. But that's like the only con, really. Now, this is not really a bush machete. This is for jobs, something in between this and like an axe. This might take the job of a hatchet, and I have used this for splitting wood. So this might be like a compromise between a heavy machete for serious like brambles and tree branches that are hanging in the way, and an axe. I think I cut down a tree that was around this thick with this all-terrain chopper. And it's actually interesting because there's cold steel you can see on this. This comes from South Africa. Someone mentioned in a comment on some video I was watching that cold steel sources these from some company in South Africa. So I went to that website to see, because they said, oh, cold steel charges $30. Well, this company charges $6. I mean, you can't get it. They don't ship to America, from what I could tell. So it's really useless to me. But they had these, and also the slant tip machetes. And they mentioned, they called them a corn knife on the website. So that's interesting, because I have used this when I grew corn in my garden, when the season was over and the stalks were dried up, and I couldn't just pull the stalks out of the ground. I took this thing and just slammed it right into the ground, and that's why the tip is like that with all the black coating rubbed off, because I was just throwing it into the ground with dirt and rocks, and it cut right through all the roots. I cut right through all the roots and was able to pull the corn out. So this thing is epic. Kind of brutal too, honestly. If you watch like the tests, all the cold steel tests are, super goofy and Walking Dead stuff. This thing is extra brutal. This is not a refined gentleman's tool by any means. Yeah, this thing just looks mean, doesn't it? This thing looks mean. I can't. Like, it's so big. I can barely get it into frame. Get the whole thing into frame. I think you've seen all my machetes now. I think this is the last one. This is the last of all of my machetes. So like the video, subscribe, give me an acute case of algorithmia. Get me into the algorithm. Come back. Go right now. Go like all of my videos. I'm counting on you because I appreciate you. That's right. You right there. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you and you. I want you and you to go like all of my videos right now. I'm gonna keep making these knife videos. I am running out, but I've making some knife discussion videos too. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll get some friends, talk about their knives and stuff. So that'd be fun. We'll see. So come back. Make sure you subscribe, like all the videos, and that's it. See ya.